Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. And a few of you have been asking me now the last couple of months that I also can make other videos apart from the twin flame content. And I felt the call today to start recording some other videos in general about coming to the truth of what you are, remembering what you are, saying true to the self. And this video is just a little bit more in detail about what inner union actually is, because it's the name of my channel. And of course, this is a big topic within the twin flame communities. But inner union is something that can be experienced by every human being, because it's the truth of what we are. It's the essence. It's coming home to the self. And within the twin flame communities, so if you are new here on this channel, you just stumbled on this video, and you are wondering why I'm referring to the twin flames. The twin flame journey has been my awakening journey, has been my catalyst into remembering the self again and coming to a union within. But so within the twin flame communities, there can be a lot of misinterpretations when it comes to activating and embodying and anchoring the inner union. And it has been something that I've made assumptions about too when I, for the first time, started to feel this state of inner union. So I just wanted to make some things clear, but this video isn't focused on the twin flame journey. It's just something in general that can be experienced, and that I will be explaining more in detail. So inner union is a state of consciousness. It's a state of being that can be experienced by every human being. But I think not every human being in this incarnation of today is or can experience this. It depends on which life they chose to experience here on Earth. And some people can have big catalysts in life. So apart from the twin flame journey, other catalysts can be a divorce, can be have a near-death experience, dealt with a lot of sick illness, chronic illness, maybe. It can be whatever. There are so many circumstances in this human life that can activate us into remembering and coming to the truth. And these catalysts are oftentimes or they come along with a lot of suffering. And when we go through this suffering, sometimes we need to go so deep, and we need to experience so much pain that suddenly we start to realize, I'm the one constantly creating this suffering and this pain. And suffering will always arise from identification with the ego mind, identification with the individual self and the personality, and all the stories that you are constantly on repeat telling yourself. And this is actually the false self that is programmed into a lot of conditionings, that believes it's separated, and an individual self that constantly needs to control things in life, needs to defend certain things. It's a lot of times in victimhood. It's referring outside of itself. It's constantly seeking for approval and love and validation outside of itself, because it thinks from separation consciousness, because it thinks it's separated. Well, actually, when you come to inner union, you start to realize that everything is a projection of your own consciousness, of your energy, and you are the one. You are the one experiencing everything, and you start to feel so safe and neutral and peaceful within. The more you slow down, the more you shed what no longer belongs or resonate with what you truly are, with soul. And inner union is a state of being, is a state of consciousness and frequency that comes along with being in the present moment. You can only feel this state of inner union when you start to practice being in the present moment, when you start to practice grounding in the body, slowing down, living more mindfully, observing all the human things that rise, for example, the emotions, the thoughts, other energies that can be felt in the body. You start to live from the inside out rather than from the outside in, and you are much more focused on feeling what is in the body, the senses, the energies, and you no longer want to analyze them or try to fix them or control them. You just start to connect with them from a place of love, because you are love. And it helps to calm down the ego mind as well, the more we connect with our inner bodies. So the more you stop seeing yourself as an individual, and stop seeing yourself as a project and something you need to protect or defend, the more you let go, you surrender. Solitude will become super important, a priority in your daily life, because only in solitude, in living life with less distractions, you will become more aware of what you actually are in the stillness. So inner union is a state of unity consciousness, and it's just something you experience because your frequency will rise. You will start to experience certain things in this human life, in this 3D paradox, more differently. You still have your ego. You still see things the same with these two eyes. But you feel them differently. You start to feel the truth of things. You start to feel the energy behind certain things, behind certain people, and their actions and their words. And so a big misinterpretation on a twin flame journey, but it's just something in general, is that when you start to feel this, what I thought, and a lot of my Belgian and my Dutch students were thinking the same, and it's so common, it's so human and normal, is that the more you will balance this energy and anchor this in your daily life, and you stay true to this realization, the more that you will forever stay in this consciousness, like 24/7. But that's not the truth. I'm just only talking from my own experience, of course. Maybe there are people here watching this video and they are having more experience than me. But the first time that I experienced inner union was in 2024, in the spring of 2024. And I still have my days and my moments in which I'm more in lower vibrations or in separation consciousness. But these lower vibrations are not bad. they are actually, from my experience, gates to freedom, gates to remembering what you truly are. For example, in the last fall of 2025, I've been feeling very unhappy and I really didn't know what was going on, but it felt like I had to start all over again on this journey. And with this journey, I don't refer to my masculine, but in general, this is an awakening journey. So there were weeks and weeks that I just was in this more separation consciousness, and a lot of fear arose, and I felt confused, and the mind was trying to analyze this and trying to take control over it. But at the same time, some things were shifting in my field of reality, things that my ego wasn't aware of at all. And sometimes in these fragments of my daily life in which I felt my frequency rising, there was more clarity, and there was a guidance that I started to feel towards more moving to the international aspect of giving services into the world when it comes to helping people remember who they truly are. And so the more I surrendered to being unhappy and to the awareness of that my ego mind was so loud again in my head, in my daily life, it was harder for me to observe certain things. The more suddenly I had moments in which I felt my energy shifting and I completely let go. So also the separation between me and other objects and people dissolved again. And that's a big aspect of being in this inner union consciousness. There's so much freedom. You just know things, although there isn't any proof in the 3D, although it's not logic at all for the ego mind. You just know things, and the more you stay loyal, stay true to this inner knowing, the more your 3D field will start to respond on this new embodiment. And we still have an ego. We are humans. We still have this mind. We have this programmed mind just to experience this human life, this 3D life. So from my own experience, I can tell it's impossible to completely stay and be in this neutral energy, in this inner peace, in this unity consciousness, in this 5D realm. You still have your human body. So it's more kind of a dance between the unity consciousness and the separation consciousness, between 3D and 5D. You get to experience them both. And before your awakening, you were just constantly living in this 3D realm, in this lower density. And it's impossible from that place to understand how inner union works and how it feels like, because you are constantly trying to maybe lead yourself towards this inner union with the mind, but that's impossible. It's really about more and more shedding what the mind is telling you and not identifying with it anymore. That's why I'm constantly referring to the book of Eckhart Tolle called The Power of Now. There are also other books that can help you to come to the truth of what you are. I can recommend Michael A. Singer's books as well. So from my experience now, almost 2 years later, I can tell you that yes, there is more and more balance in my daily life into easily being able to shift in these higher frequencies, but I still get triggered too. I remember when I reached out to a coach that helped me a lot 2 years ago in a twin flame journey, that she just randomly mentioned in one of her live calls that she got triggered in the morning. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I was in this very early stages of, for the first time, feeling this inner union. And I thought, okay, so when I stabilize this in my daily life and anchor this in my body as an embodiment, I won't get triggered anymore. But the truth is, you have so many aspects going on in your daily life, not only when it comes to the twin flame journey, not only the divine masculine, but everything in this human life can still trigger you. And I don't like to call this inner work. I see this more as a natural unfolding of constantly you being true to your essence, to the self with a capital S. The self is pure consciousness, and it's something that can never be fully understood with the ego mind. So separation consciousness is experiencing life from the programmed ego mind by identifying with them, and also identifying with your emotions, and identifying with your personality and your name and all the roles that you are playing in your daily life. For example, as a mother, as a teacher, these are just almost archetypes or avatars that you are claiming and playing with. But in the essence, it's all just a almost big cosmic joke when you come to realization of what you truly are. And inner union is just the dissolving of separation between you and the things that you are seeing with your human eyes and the things that you are experiencing. Because when you more and more come to the present moments, you will become so aware of what is rising in that moment, in the body, in your field, and you are understanding it from this self-realization point of view. And you no longer let yourself get distracted by all the programmed stories of the ego mind that respond to the circumstances in the 3D fields that you are seeing and experiencing, because that's never the truth. The only truth that there is in this human life is the essence of self, is the experiencing of itself, because you are constantly experiencing the self through circumstances, through people. It's constantly meeting yourself deeper and deeper, and constantly remembering. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it could make some things clear. Like I mentioned, yes, after 2 years, it's much easier to stay in this frequency, or even to shift into this frequency. But we are still here to experience duality. And it's much lighter and almost more funny to experience duality from the place of self-realization, from this place of inner union. But I still get triggered too, like I just said. Before I end this video, I have little announcements again when it comes to my English services. So first of all, my English course, Inner Union Activation, is out there, is live to purchase. And on the 1st of March, the price will rise. So now you get a discount of 111 euros. It's the complete course for everyone who wants to shift this journey, this twin flame journey, from pain and separation and confusing and suffering into gold, into light, into remembering, into peace, into love within, so that your 3D field will start to respond to this as well. So not only the masculine. And I have something new also on my website that you can purchase. and it's a audio bundle. It's the 5 audios that I recorded on my audio experience that I was hosting the first week of January. So you now can purchase them and download them on your phone, so you've got them always with you if you want to. And these audios are 5 files in which I'm discussing one topic, a file. So file 1 is about remembering the truth of what you are. File 2 is about reconnecting with soul. File 3 is about shifting from 3D to 5D consciousness. File 4 is about separation versus unity consciousness. And file 5, the final one, is about becoming aware of energy. So it's all about coming back home to the soul and being true to this. So this one is also for twin flames, for everyone who wants to buy the course but can't afford it right now. The audio bundle costs 99 euros. So this one you can purchase right now too. I will share the link of the audio bundle along with the Embodying course in the description of this video, and you can also find it in my general links on this channel, I guess. Thank you so much everyone for being here, for watching, for liking, for subscribing, for sharing maybe, and I will be back soon with a new video. Much love, enjoy your day.